Hi, everybody. This is the Pacific Google I Extended Edition. And let me show you my slide deck. I will just share my screen. That's easier. We already had our one presenter. Our next presenter, we have 3 sessions. And this event is supported by several GDGs, hence this is the Pacific region, but you can see some GDGs like Houston as well. And our second presenter will be Joel Paredes. He's a Google developer expert on web and Google Maps. And he's a front-end developer at Platzi. And he will talk about Google Maps data-driven styling. So before we are starting with him, just some notes from the previous stream. I was talking about, sorry about the noise. I was talking about a new Core Web Vital, IND, and I will share you some links in this new stream, because there's a feedback form. That's not the raffle form for our event, but that's another form for the Google developers who were developing that new feature. So that's just I'm telling you as a side note. Don't want to take away the highlight from Joel about his interesting Google Maps presentation.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. Thank you for the invitation. Can I start to okay, I'm gonna start with this. I promise you it's a combination for theory about data-driven styling, because this is a very, very cool feature, and it's what requested for a very, very long time. And recently it's in beta version. Well, not beta at all, but we can start with this. I share you how is working this feature. Okay. A little disclaimer, expressions and opinions are on my own. That's all. Okay. Basically, I'm gonna explain this part of the Google Maps because sometimes people think Google Maps is just the part of the part of the maps, and that is not true at all. Because Google Maps platform is literally a platform, and this platform bring location services. Okay. Basically, it's abstraction of the real world information, put it in the digital world, and we can access to this information. For example, the location, when you say, okay, I am in this location, well, location can be interpreted like coordinates, but sometimes in a human format is more an address of the name of the place, and this kind of information is very, very difficult to represent it in the digital world. And Google Maps brings us help to accomplish that task. okay? And with this platform, we can bring solutions, for example, like rider solution. Okay, when you see a ride solution or transport solution or any solution from start to point A and finish to point B, use location services like like location where I am in this moment and represent via a map. Okay, I use a map to try to know where I am, but that is not at all. Because, for example, okay, what is the route I need to travel to get to this point? And that is another service. It's not that's another service offers Google Maps. Try to develop these features in the house. Trust me, it's very, very complex. Not just the part to make the algorithms to make the roads. Because, for example, in the roads you have this part. Okay, is for example, the streets are one way or two way, and that is a human information. Not it's a computable information. Well, you can represent that information in Google Maps or in other platform or wherever you want in the digital world, but to try to get that information, it's not that easy, because it's not information mathematical, or you can determine it, or you determine it via a formula. It's information determined by the state, the government, or any entity who is in charge to is the owner of this task. In Mexico, basically, it's a union. Okay, you can share this question in the chat, optionally. Okay, this part of the data, this part, okay, we know Google Maps had a lot of services, have the maps, have the location services, and the coding. For example, you can bring a name of the something, and I return you the coordinates, or reverse coding is I bring you coordinates and you return me a name. That is helpful for some solutions. And another thing, another kind of services this platform offers you to create solutions. Okay, this part of data driving. Okay, basically data driving is just we manage information in maps or geosolutions applications. Normally, we divide applications or visualization in layers. There is a map base. Over this map base is a layer, for example, of roads, is a layer, for example, of the buildings. There is a layer about business locations. Every layer of information is independent, and we can put one over the other, like a sandwich, basically. Okay. But in this part of the Google Maps normally has information. It's helpful for us. More related, for example, with this part. Okay, a map basically is a set of polygons representing something. Okay, and these polygons are divided or represent a thing called administrative area. Okay, the administrative area is basically a boundary. It's a perimeter area who represents something. Okay, and you can use that information to build solutions. For example, this is very helpful. Some services, example, some services like in Mexico, the internet just cover some areas of the city. If your location is not in the area of the coverture of the area where the company offers his services, basically you can do an application and you can request services of the company. This is very helpful because it helps you to bring the user, okay, we don't have, we can offer the services in this area. Okay, just the polygons are very helpful in the part of the maps. And we can use this information. That information is in Google Maps. We can use it to make our own solutions. So, like I say, administrative area basically is a fancy word to say a polygon, a boundary, just the limits or the area where we are. It's an area could represent something delimitation, not just not mathematically. It's a limitation, for example, more legal. By legal, I see, for example, a city, a country, a state, a county. I don't know. There is a lot of administrative area, and that administrative area, it's determined by every country because laws. Okay, like I say, administrative area. This is needs to be clear. Administrative area are the space defined by a government or civilization, or is not a mathematical definition. Okay, we use mathematical definition to represent the area, but the area at the end is basically is a space defined by a human entity. Okay, and Google Maps has 7 levels of these administrative areas. And just to be clear, not every administrative area is available in all countries. And maybe you question yourself or question me, why is not available in some areas of some countries? This is because that information comes from a organization, a human organization, okay, like government or some civil organization. It's not a mathematical. It's not math. It is not formula. So if some institutions are owned, okay. So some entities, some sorry, I distracted with something. Maybe some in some countries there is not that organization, and maybe doesn't have that information. So that is why maybe the information is not present in some parts. So sorry. Maybe some information is not presented in some parts of the information is not present in Google Maps because you don't have that information. So you don't have it. Google Maps can have that information if the country doesn't have that information. Not words like Street View, for example. That is another area, but basically is that. No. This is funny because I always want to go to this part called Four Corners. I don't remember the name very well, but basically in this part of the United States when 4 state units. So it's very funny because okay, I gonna go to I don't know if this is Texas or New Mexico. Well, basically it's you can go in the 4 states at the same time. And it's very funny because, okay, now I am in some state, now I am in other state. And I remember like the Simpsons, okay, I am in Australia, in America, in Australia, I in America. What determines who is Australia, what part is America? Basically, it's the government and human institutions, okay? Governments and define, for example, the embassies are basically a part of the country owner of that embassy. So, like I say, this is part of the human organization. It's not mathematical. There is not formula to get a country to get a country. Okay, you can use the formulas to know where is your location and check the polygons of the area where are you located, and that is how you can get the country where you are. So before data driving styling, to try to represent information or to get this polygon we need to do it manually. And manually I refer, okay, you need to get information, geographical information in some geographic format, for example GeoJSON or KML, and put in the map. And that is the way you can get represent a country or a state or any location you can get, or some area you can create a polygon to highlight from the other, or to highlight some part. Okay, that is the way you can do it before this part of data driving. So this part of data driving, you can have oh, I forgot to translate that part. Okay, basically you have something called feature types. Every feature type, each feature type are related with a polygon. Polygon representing country, polygon representing states, polygon representing counties, and another administrative areas. Like I say, you have seven administrative area levels. So you can use that ones to try to represent something or get information. And this is the way how it works. When you see a map, like I say, you have a layer related with the base map, representing the world with the coordinates and projections and everything you need to represent a location using a coordinate. But the polygons basically have everything you see, roads and location, roads and buildings and rivers and another entities you see are features, are called features, and that features can be customized. They have a default style, and you can hide them, or you can get you can change the style they have to represent that feature. Okay, for example, I gonna have a feature layer. Remember, everything is on layers. Okay, and I get feature layer locality. And for example, locality, I gonna in this layer, in this part of the style, it's gonna check every feature layer and check in this example. Okay, this feature have the place ID equals to this one. Okay, if that is true, I'm gonna return these options, and these options basically it's gonna change the map. Okay, so I'm gonna pass to the part of the demo. If you have any questions, you can do it. I gonna make this part of the demo. If you can enter to this URL to check a live map. I'm gonna start to make some modifications on my local host to see how is working this part of the data styling, and we are gonna create a map ID, a map style to know how I can use this kind of feature. Okay, okay, I'm gonna pass to the, here we go. Okay, the first thing I need to set is, okay, I have this, I'm gonna make the screen, here we go. And for example, Google Maps platform has this part of the map styles and has the map management. Okay, map style basically are all the styles. We can set these all the styles. You can use some Google Map style defined, or you can import a JSON file. So, for example, I recommend if you're gonna do this, there is a site called Nice Maps, has a lot of styles of the for your maps, but you have in the map management, you can create a, you can customize a map. You can do it in this way too. You can they open in a style editor, and you can make modification. This is very helpful because you can customize the map as you wish. But if not, you have this. You have these styles, and you can use it. If you can see, okay, maybe you can see because, okay, here we go. I have something color feature type. This is the water, and this is the style applied to water, and some geometries and some styles depending of depending of the type of the feature, the kind of feature you want modificate in this map. So you can customize everything in your map. So I'm gonna get here and do this. Okay. This is showing here. I'm gonna save this map. I'm gonna get demo GDG Pacific. Description, nah, I don't need it really right now. Okay. And here we go. We have a new map style. And I go here. And okay, do it. I'm gonna close this. Well, the maps is gonna appear in this part, okay? Maybe if, my internet connection is not so good. So I go to this part called map management. In the map management, I need to create a map ID. Okay, here is the interesting part. Okay, why is better to use a map ID instead? It just includes the styles, because you can do it. You can just take the styles and include in your map and embed on your map directly via JavaScript API. Why is better to use a map ID? Is because replication, and you can share this. You can share the map ID in your mobile application, in your web application, or something else, something SDK, a new platform you get. When you use the map ID, you can get the styles directly. So if I need to update the styles, I can update it directly in the Google Maps platform, and the changes are replicated in the other platforms, and I don't need to redeploy something because the styles are directly attached to the map ID. Okay, I'm gonna create a map ID. I'm gonna tell him demo IO Pacific. Okay, and this is importantly, this is only the part of the data-driven styling is just available for JavaScript in the vector in the vector in the vector map type. Okay, if you try to using in another part, this is not gonna work. So in this part, okay, you're gonna attach to the demo GDG Pacific is IO Pacific. Okay, sorry about that misunderstanding. Okay. Now I attached the style directly with my map ID, and this is gonna available for every platform. Okay, so basically this is all the part of the map. I'm gonna copy this ID to use after. Okay, I gonna, and first of all, I need to make this, increase this font so you can see it. I hope it's visible right now. So I'm gonna run this part. Okay, John start. Okay, and here is okay. Basically, this is my map. Okay, that's not crazy. It's just a map, a common map. I don't have stylings and anything, and I just need to go. I just need to add some styles to this. Some I need to add some styles to this to this application. For example, this is my style ID. I'm gonna add the style ID, and I need to use it in my I have this part of the map ID, and that's all. Okay, I said you need to use this map ID, and this map ID is gonna be attached to this map. And sorry, I need to. It's an environment variable, so okay. Let me check something. Source bundle. Okay, I got it. I call this problem eight layer problem. I was in another project. Sorry. I'm gonna add a map ID equals okay, sorry, Google Maps ID. Okay, and I need to share the case. I forgot. Set this date to the map creation. Okay. Basically, I just add I just add this value called map ID, and okay, Google Maps ID. It's not okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Here we go. Sorry for the delay, but we have the map, and I think I use another. Well, I don't know what is happening, but basically this is Pacific. Okay, I have this part of the styling. I don't know why it's in this part, but maybe have a problem in some part. Okay, and I'm gonna make the deployment. Build and deploy. Ah, Firebase deploy. I am using Firebase to make it Firebase deploy. And I'm gonna refresh this application. And here we go. Maybe I have a problem with this part, but it doesn't matter for this part of the demo. Okay, but basically, I am using the same styling. Okay, and if I decide, for example, change the kind of map style I am using. Uh, if I am going to, well, this is going to take a little time, but basically this style can change. And the only thing I need to do basically is change the map ID. Okay, that is the idea. I can change the map ID. Well, I don't need to change the map ID. Sorry, I need to change the styles. The styles linked with the map ID, and I can okay. Okay, here we go. And basically, I can do it in this part. Okay. Okay, I need to see if this part changed. If not, I need to refresh this part of the cache. And here we go. Like you see, I didn't change the code. I didn't change anything. I just changed the stylus linked to the map ID. So I gonna make some change related with the with the with the map. I'm gonna add a function called Admap Styles. This just to iterate on some layers. Uh, I'm gonna copy paste some code to try to get faster and explain why is how this is working. For example, in this part, I tell, okay, I need to feature layer called country, and add these options, okay? And we are gonna make some updates after doing this. And I'm going to tell to this application to the feature layer, okay, on every feature who has display name Costa Rica or display name Mexico, you return these styles, okay? You can use the display name, or you can use the ID, the place ID. It's so up to you. Decide what feature attribute you need to use to return the style options, okay? And I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna run my demo again. And start. And I'm going to reload this part. Okay. I forgot something. Eight layer, 8-layer error. It's okay when when you create your map. I forgot call the function. I am GD, but I am human too. So, okay. So you see, you have this kind of you have this feature layer. You are these have different style, and you are using the feature the feature you have the feature elements. You have the layers to iterate the elements of every layer. In this case, this layer is the country, and you can use it and you can change whatever you want. If you want to see this in action, I'm gonna make a build. Firebase deploy, and you can get this working in the application very soon. Okay, so basically this is how this feature works. Now I gonna back to the I gone back to the to well I need to okay, maybe we need wait a few minutes to be the change reflected on their application. Okay, I'm gonna go to this part of the map styles. No, it's the map ID. Okay, it's map ID. No, it's map style. Sorry. It's some things is a little confusing. Okay, have this the GDG Pacific. Okay, and as you see, for example, in this part of the map, I can something I forget to tell you. It's okay. This part of the feature layer is how it works. You have enabled all the layers? No. When you create a map style, uh, normally you create a map ID, and that map ID assign this part of the layers. But for example, in this part, I need to select what kind of feature layer I can able or I gonna add to this part. Okay. For example, okay, I need to enable country, postal codes, administrative area level 1, level 2, level 3, localities, and whatever I want, I need to enable on the map. Okay. For example, in this test, okay, it's loading. I add these features layers. Okay, feature layers country, and this is helpful because when I am using, for example, in my map management, when I gonna create a map ID, and I need to, for example, I gonna create a new map ID, test, and map keep, JavaScript Android, vector, whatever. Okay, with this I am creating an ID, but you need the map style and enabling the map style these features. When you do this, okay, I'm gonna tell you, okay, you are working with countries. Okay, I'm gonna save. And with this is saved, when I need to, for example, in some map ID, I'm gonna go to demo IO Pacific. When I need to select a map style, like you see, appears this part of the data driving style and enable map style. If I select this map style, the feature, the data driving style is not gonna work. It's just this when you have enabled these features on your map style, you see this legend. So I'm gonna change again. And I'm gonna accept the project. Now I going to in my local host are reflector mode easily. So I gonna start. I gonna reload. Okay, maybe this take a while. I think I have a little details with my local host. Maybe I am not changing something or rebuilding the application, but production must work fine. So production is working fine. That's a little weird. It's not working in my local, but it's working on production. Irony. So, like you see, I didn't change anything of my code. I just changed the map ID. This is the advantage to create maps using the Google Maps platform instead of using your style directly on your code. You can use the cloud to change the code of your map and check the styling and use the information of the application. And for example, if you okay, I gonna console this information. Console dot options. Console log options. And you see okay, this is every feature. You see a lot of feature because basically is every feature of the world. So there is there is another option. You can add the region, and when you add the region, you are segmenting your information, and this is helpful because maybe you don't need all the information of the world. You just need a few. You just need a few of data, and this is helpful a lot with the part of the performance. Every feature, I'm gonna make this. Okay, no, it's the console. It's gonna make, okay, increase the font. Okay, you have the feature. For example, the feature type is a country. You can iterate about every feature. I check the type. In this case, I don't need it. And the feature type is have the country, has the display name Japan, and the place ID is this one. And with this information, for example, you can match with custom information related with the geographical data. You are related, for example, in this case, country Japan, or United States, or whatever you want. So basically, this is part of data driving styling. It's very helpful. I recommend use cloud maps to replicate the styles, and when you have a company, you can use the branding color and distribute the change to every user. just using the platform, and you don't have to change the code, or you need to release a new version to do this kind of changes. So basically, that was my talk. I don't know if you have some questions related with Google Maps or another kind of question related with this feature. I forgot. I almost forgot. Sorry. It's ah, thank you very much. Okay, I focus a lot on the demo, and I forgot. Thank you to everyone to listen to me. And if you have any question, you have my handle on Twitter, or you just Google me, and you find me. Really, I have a good branding. Had a good. I am very well positioned in the rank of the Google, so you can. My name is not common, so you can find me with you googling my name. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joel. This was a great talk and gave me some ideas to enhance my own projects. We have 10 minutes left still. So I would like to share with you the session feedback and Raffle form. It's a tiny URL, and it requires, I will put it in the, oops, sorry, the two left off. That's the tiny URL. So it's 22. It ends with 22. And so here, don't worry that there are all the free sessions featured there. All of those session evaluations are optional. It's up to you. You are welcome to just evaluate or even give us notes what you thought about the session. And at the end of the survey, you can input your data. So we can contact you after the raffle. Because we need to contact you. This is not an anonymous form, but don't worry about if you have any constructive criticism, feel free to express it. And at the end of the whole event, we will perform a raffle. So please fill out that survey form. And yeah, we still have 8 minutes. I have a little project I might show you, since this is a Google I/O extended. We were talking about maps, and let me just show you a little project here. Just a second. Oh, am I already sharing? Yes, I'm sharing. I'm sorry. I think I'm sharing, yeah. So I just wanted to talk about new technology called Geospatial API. And so we only have a few minutes. I'm gonna run through this slide deck. I will share the slide deck URL with you, so don't worry if I run through a little fast. But I wanted to compare Geospatial API based artificial augmented reality maps with regular indoor, so-called indoor augmented reality maps. Because we are here at this event, and soon we're gonna be back in person, hopefully. And I created an augmented reality application for our attendees so they can easily find the session rooms in our venue. And I'm not going to go into too much details about that, but that it doesn't use GPS, since indoors you don't have GPS signal. And so how it works is you have an activation image, and I'm going to skip this slide. You have an activation image, and I will show you this little YouTube video, and you will see. You don't have to hear it. I am pointing there. This is the activation image itself, and you are scanning that image with the augmented reality map application. The augmented reality core recognizes, it's a special image, recognizes the image, and then, as you can see on the phone screen, I am placing these giant billboards with the number of the session room on it. And so they are those giant 1, 2, 3 large red billboards are the augmented billboards. So they look like if they were there in real life. Hence it's augmented. So it works with this activation image. However, I have another project where, and I want to talk about now the Geospatial API, where there's the California State University Fresno campus, and I want to show the students where are the closest trash cans compared to their current location. And we are talking about here outside. So I created a website. Here's this recyclingtrashcans.github.io, where I'm gonna go there so you can see where here's our map. I am placing these pins. And now I'm thinking that maybe based on Joel's presentation, I may be able to mark the campus boundaries in the future. But this is one section of the campus, and this is kind of a static, so you have to manually see that, okay, I'm maybe somewhere here, and here maybe this trash can is there. Then I can see more details, and these are the 360 images where there's the actual trash can over there, and you can even see a 360 video. But that's not the best. It's, I think, great experience if you have a virtual reality headset. This works as a cardboard, Google Cardboard. You can be there virtually in these locations. But I wanted an augmented reality map for this as well. So we are talking about outside here. And so there are a ton of challenges. I wasn't able to solve this because even if I can locate the user, I have the GPS coordinates of the trash cans. It's not always precise, and the hardest thing is the orientation. So where is the user looking right now? That's extremely hard to achieve. And there comes the Geospatial API to the rescue, and this is announced at Google I/O this year. It leverages many large projects and know-how of Google, such as Street View data, Google Earth 3D models, visual positioning systems, ARCore's AI algorithms. So I'm outside at the campus, and I'm going to share the URL of this slide deck, but I have the application as well here. Both applications I show are open source, and the GitHub links are available as well. And so let me show you the YouTube video of that application. And as you can see, I am on campus, and you can see those gigantic red map pins. And this is let me turn this off. This is the Geospatial API working right now. Here, I think it's groundbreaking. There can be some drifting issues, as always, but I wasn't able to achieve this on my own because it uses the Street View data and other 3D models to recognize where I am at the current place, where I am looking, and it helps me to place these pins. So I'm just saying that this is one usage of this Geospatial API, but if you follow some links, which I am featuring towards the end, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Tango here. Yes, I was thinking about this link where Google talks about the technology in detail. You can read more about that, and they have games, balloon popping, and other stuff. But our time is up with this second session slot. So slowly, let's navigate over to the other stream. And we already shared the streaming link, which is similar to the first, and the second one is just ending with number 3. Please don't forget to fill out the survey for the raffle. The raffle information is at the second section of that same form. So it starts with the evaluation, and then the second page is the raffle information. So see you there at the third stream. Thank you so much for attending. Or if you are watching the recording right now, hi. And let's head over there. And we are up for a very interesting presentation. Segway, Joel used Firebase, and this next one will use Firebase. That will be one of the main themes. Thank you so much, and see you over there.